Hey everyone, what up? Matt Kaiser here. Now ever since that June state of play, Dynasty Warriors Origins took people by surprise. If you don't factor the fact, well, it did get leaked up ahead before state of play, but regardless, this caught many by surprise, especially for those who've been waiting for a brand new Dynasty Warriors game ever since the release of Dynasty Warriors 9. And well, ever since then we had lots of things from new gameplay, little inputs about the story, as well as new information and whatnot. And people had their general thoughts about it, from some really excited for this game, while others remain on the skeptical side, given the fact that well, they've been burned from the previous entry, which was Dynasty Warriors 9. Well, with what Koei Tecmo and Omega Force has shown, I've decided to give out my personal thoughts about this game, as I thought it was the right time, given the fact that this game is coming out next year on 17th of January 2025. But before we begin, let's look like we're seeing here, then by all means, like the video, click the subscribe button if you're new, and hit that notification icon if you want more content with the Warriors series from yours truly. Not only that, but I'm currently in the middle of playing Persona 5 Royal, and hopefully before this year ends, I'll be able to do my long-awaited 750 subscriber special off Persona 5 Royal, so please do look forward to that as you can. And with that said, let's get back to the video. So immediately, I just want to go through each section of what I think about Dynasty Warriors Origins in general, and why I think that this game really does have potential. Now let's kick off with the graphics, as I think this game really looks good and something akin to what a next-gen Warriors game would be like. All the environments, what's been shown here, look really damn good. And from the cutscenes that we can see here, you can see that Omega Force are really taking advantage of, well, the new generation of consoles, that being the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series and PC, to great effect here, as this game really looks good. Now I know some people have some gripes about the fact that some of the assets are reused from Dynasty Warriors 9, which, yeah, not gonna lie, it is a little bit jarring to see basically for a game that's set way before the whole Three Kingdoms War happened, and just have models that were from the previous latest Dynasty Warriors game. It's just absolutely, well, a little bit jarring. And obviously there's some points where it does look like, say, a PlayStation 4 game, but overall I think the characters really look good. I think the visuals overall looks really good. I'm curious to see on how well it runs, especially on PS5. I know the fact that this game is targeting 60 FPS, and I heard that the PS5 Pro might do way more than that. But we'll have to wait and see on how it goes. But overall, visually, this game really looks good. And I can say the same for the character designs, even though I know some people are a little bit off-put given the fact that, well, this is a prequel game. And some characters like, say, I believe Zhang Xiao has caught some discontention, as well as Yuan Xiao even. But I like the designs of, say, Guan Yu, Sung Xiao, I did butcher that, I do apologize, Lu Bu, as well as both Cao Cao, Liu Bei, and even the likes of Zhong Zhou and Diao Shan. I think those characters look really good, and the new protagonist himself looks really cool. Now we move on to, well, the new protagonist. Now, he is an interesting kind of character to talk about. Now what we know is that he's a nameless hero who seems to be having amnesia, and he's basically serving as the main protagonist that you're playing through the majority of the game. Now, I've heard some people are mixed about this, given the fact that, well, you can't customize him opposed to other Warriors games like, say, Samurai Warriors, and I think even some of the Empire games, which it's a little bit of a shame really, though I don't mind it, cause I do have a theory that he is not meant to be someone to customize. In more sense, he is someone that I think, if I have a theory here, is that while he may not know his name now, throughout the end of the game, he's going to recover his memories and reveal his true identity and we'll see on who he really is. As I think even naming your character is sort of like a temporary thing, so that is what I would have my take. Still though, I think he looks amazing, and I just love the way he fights and all that stuff. Now of course we get on to the gameplay. Like first of all, let's go with the overworld gameplay, as this world map looks absolutely amazing. Now I know many people really hated Dynasty Warriors 9's more open world, so I guess with Omega Force they took that to heart and decided to give a really cool world map in a sense. And well, this world map looks absolutely amazing, especially as someone who really likes, just overworlds and world maps in my classic JRPGs. I think this one here, especially fitting with the whole, China War map aesthetic that they're going for, really suits this game to a T, so I think that was a good compromise and something to replace, given the fact that, well, once, as I said before, Dynasty Warriors 9's open world wasn't really well received. Now we have other things to talk about, and that is the meat of the game, and that's the gameplay. And the gameplay looks really promising. I mean, Warriors games tend to have really solid gameplay systems. I know some people don't really enjoy them as much, though some people, especially the core Warriors fanbase, really likes the gameplay. Now I know some people do criticize with the whole 1 vs 1000 thing where everything's a little too easy, but based off the gameplay it does seem that things are a little bit more different here, and they've added some new innovations to improve upon the combat, with things like having perfect dodge, a parry system that even some of the licensed warrior games that even Omega Force has made have adopted with, and I think this really looks good here. The gameplay with the weapon system looks absolutely cool with the Protagonist, and I do like from the fact that what we can see here is that some of the enemy AI seems to be on the aggressive side a little bit, compared to like say some of the classic Dynasty Warriors games where enemies in that games were more aggressive and a little bit more harder to deal with, compared to like say the newer entries where they were mostly just peons that you can just easily take down. So I think this might prove to be a pretty cool balance, all things considered. We'll just have to wait and see on how it turns out. But of course there's also the other new additions, like the whole strategy system where you're able to command troops, whether it's to shoot arrows or just help you open doors, that kind of thing, and help you assist on enemies. I think this adds a cool new tactical element to it where it gives more urgency of what to strategize with, which I think that really does show a cool thing. Like, it's basically akin to a strategy game. Now obviously I know that there might be some downsides given the fact that in some cases it may not be too effective, but I think it does shake up the formula of the Warriors series in general. But of course there's also the other thing that's a bit contentious, and that would have to be that currently, as of right now, there are confirmed to be at least 9 to 10 other playable characters, and they can be played temporarily, almost similar to akin to like say Fate Samurai Remnant, another game that Omega Force has also made as well, which is a great game by the way, you should totally play. And yeah, this has caused some people to be disappointed given the fact that past Warrior games had a huge roster of characters to play at any time, and given the fact that this new game seems to be focused on the main character and you can switch occasionally to them, does kind of suck a little bit. But if I had to take here, I do think it's a good way to sort of shaking things up and not be too stale. I do think that with the weapon changing system and the fact that, well, characters do seem to be playing different here than say, having your clone characters, which is something that Warrior games tend to have at times, which is not always great. I think they're shaping up to at least improve upon the more quality aspect of the gameplay rather than the quantity. That being said though, I do understand that some people prefer to choose whichever character they want to play with without any restrictions, so I do hope that there's like a free mode where the main protagonist is out of it and you can play as whoever you want, that kind of thing. And I do think if that'll happen, that'll be absolutely great. So I hope it's just exclusive for the main story mode. And from what we can see from said story mode, it does show promise with the whole having multiple routes of choosing your own faction and seeing what the war is like before, where each kingdom were, about to, clash heads. So it's going to give a very interesting new perspective, especially with the main protagonist. Especially when you have dialogue options, though I wonder how much they factor in, as this does lean into sort of the RPG approach kind of things, given the fact that Omega Force have done, Warriors games for RPG games like, say, Fire Emblem, Persona, and the Fate Samurai Remnant. So I'm curious to see on how it plays out. But overall, this game looks absolutely amazing. I just really can't say too much about it. And I think that this game has the potential not only to shape up the core foundation of the Dynasty Warriors series moving forward, but also future Warriors titles like say, this could shape up the foundation for say, a new Samurai Warriors 6, or Warriors Orochi 5, and even more licensed Warriors titles like say Xenoblade Warriors or Atelier Warriors. Pretty please? And yeah, and if this game really does well and makes, the fanbase happy and sells well, we could see Dynasty Warriors 10 potentially taking ideas that were sort of not as fine-tuned as they were in Origins and truly improving upon it, as I think that having a system like this and reiterating upon it for your next entry is the right call in my book. So that would have to be my take on it, as I do think that Dynasty Warriors Origins does have the potential. We'll see what happens in January, whether or not this game can truly, live up to the hype and try not to fall down compared to, like, say, Dynasty Warriors 9. But that'll be it for me, as I'm really looking forward to this game, and I hope you are too. Let me know down in the comments if you're excited for this game. Have you played any other Warriors games, whether it's Dynasty Warriors or any other game, and which is your favorite? Let me know down in the comments. With that said, until then, Mad Kaiser, out.